Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back. I'm so sad to say today is our last Cooking with Chef Vita the Vegan Chef, but we're so excited to cook with you guys. I'm going to bring in Chef Vita and Maya.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
We're super duper excited to have you guys. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, say your hellos.
Can you hear me? Can you
hear
me?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All righty. So greetings, everyone. And welcome. Welcome to our last session. It's come like to an abrupt end. We've had such a great time. And I'm just so happy to have whoever's joined us out there join me and Destiny for this last session on collard greens. Yes. And I'm glad to have Maya with me again as my hype woman. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone, wherever you are in your beautiful kitchen. So I think you want to tell us about the harvest.
Yes, absolutely. So before we get into it, I want to talk to you guys, Maya and Chef Vita. So during this whole series, we've been celebrating food. We've been celebrating food as wellness. We've been celebrating one another and really like healthy lifestyles. And now we're transitioning into October, a few days. It's been a little cold. So now we're preparing for what we would call our Taste of the Harvest as the 11th Street Bridge Park. So before we get into some ideas about that, what are your favorite parts about fall?
Ooh, fall. Go ahead, Lavita.
I love the colors. That's my favorite part. I love the fall colors. Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say that too. And I think for me, I love the coziness of fall, if that makes any sense. It's like the time where you do cook more warm foods, chili, soups, and all those things. So that warmth that it brings, I love that part of fall.
Awesome. Well, my favorite part about fall is the food, as we'll be cooking today. And I wanted to share with you guys about our Taste of the Harvest, which is coming up. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you all. And if you all remember our event, Taste of the Harvest, it's really what we've been doing this whole time, which is celebrating our farm, celebrating the harvest of all of our different sites. What we usually would do if we had the opportunity to be on site together, we would ask our farmers from our different farm sites to provide recipes. And those recipes would be prepared in a dinner where we would sit down all together. We would serve the recipes. Everybody would sit down. We would have performances. We would have activities, garlic planting. So this time we're going to be giving everybody Taste of the Harvest home style, which means you can enjoy it from the comforts of your own home. We're actually kicking off next week on Thursday, October 8th, and we're going to have a special surprise panel, actually, that Vita the Vegan Chef is going to be on about healthy eating and healthy lifestyles. So I won't give away too many details. You all can sign up for the events at bridgepark.org/harvest. Again, bridgepark.org/harvest. And I'm going to put that in the chat. Don't want to take too much time because I'm going to talk about it at the end as well. So I am going to pass it to Vita.
Okay, so what I love to start off with is welcoming people into my kitchen. And I always say 4 things about my space. I talk about my kitchen as a space of creativity. I think of myself as a culinary artist, and this is where I create all kinds of deliciousness. I also think of this as a space of love because I love on people through the food that I make. And I also think of it as a space of healing because what I make, I try to make as life affirming as possible. And you're going to see, we're very interested in what our foods can do for our bodies. And also it's a space of remembrance because this work is in honor of my mother who passed away from cancer. And I made something, I think, beautiful out of that experience. So welcome to my kitchen. And I want you to think about something positive as you make this food. Think about the people you're going to love on. Think about this time we have together as a time of like we're bonding over food, and we're connecting with folks we don't know per se, and we're having some fun. There's so much going on in the world right now. And I don't know about you, but we need to take a collective breath, and this cooking session can be that. So welcome to my kitchen. And without further ado, Maya's going to tell us what's in store for us during this hour.
Yes. So we are definitely so excited to have you all with us tonight. And Vita has prepared something so amazing. As you all know, we are going to be making a pot of collard greens, but also we're going to be making them into collard green wontons. And we're also going to have some fun tonight, okay? So if you all know any tunes that has the word collard greens in it, we want you all to start thinking about it and start, reminiscing on any songs that have that, because it's going to come up for a later game, but just be prepared for that. And while we're cooking, I'm going to share the benefits of the key ingredients that we're using, because it's some amazing benefits that we want to make sure we give you all the information to. We also want to hear how you're improvising. A lot of the ingredients tonight is going to kind of be a good range that you can use to your taste buds. So we want to hear about it. Do you like a lot of garlic? Do you maybe not want too much pepper? Do you like a lot of heat? So please continue to write in the chat and give us some good feedback. And also definitely want to make sure I say this, that this is a free to pay as you wish. So if you would like to donate anything to Levita, you can Cash App her. You can do it on PayPal and also Zelle. And I know we're going to put all those links into the comment chat box. And also, please make sure to get your phones out and take a nice selfie. We want to see you all really enjoying yourself and taking pictures of this wonderful meal we're going to have tonight. All right. So without further ado, are we ready to get in it? Are we ready to start cooking? All right. Got some
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to go over the ingredient list for the pot of collard greens. And again, there's going to be ranges of the amount of that you can use for the ingredients. So again, trust yourself. All right. So we have 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 6 tablespoons of finely chopped garlic. And this can equal to about a 1/4 cup or about 2 more tablespoons worth. And then we also need a 1.5 cup of finely chopped onion, 6 to 8 tablespoons of Bragg liquid aminos. We also need 5 to 7 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. We also need 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of agave nectar or any type of sweetener. We also need 1/2 to 1 whole of chipotle pepper, or 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon of ground pepper. And then you also will need 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, and this is optional. And then, of course, for the main ingredient, 3 bunches of collard greens, or at least 16 cups finely chopped. Okay, so we're putting up all the links. We put in our ingredient list, so make sure you all are following along. And let's jump right into it. Okay, now, before we get started, it says to let the greens soak in water while we're going to be chopping up. So let's make sure our greens Go ahead, Levita.
Well, that's if your greens aren't clean. Like if you didn't get to that part, all right? Which I asked that people clean them before they came onto the call. Sure. But if you still working out some dirt and grit issues, you need to let that happen while we're doing all this this chopping.
Okay. Make sure your greens are clean. You don't want to be crunching our greens. All right. So let's get to chopping up the garlic, and then we're going to chop our garlic and add it to a medium bowl. And so how many cloves are you cooking with, Levita?
Well, I'm doing 10.
Wow.
I like 10. I like 8 to 10, and it should get us close to that amount. Okay, I think I gave a measurement in terms of cups. Actually, I said a 1/4 of a cup plus 2 more tablespoons. That's your 6 tablespoons. Okay.
Correct.
So, and notice what I'm doing. I talk about how you can relieve a little bit of stress by taking your knife blade and just smashing these cloves. This is a easy way to get the peel off. You don't have to, get garlic all down in your fingernails trying to peel off this garlic paper. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna be moving swiftly. Garlic, I love garlic. It's like this natural antibiotic, and I love to just have it in lots of my food. And I feel like almost there's like no such thing as too much. And so there are lots of other benefits too to the garlic.
Yeah, it's definitely a great source to have into your everyday diet. It's part of the allium family with the onion. It lowers blood pressure, relaxes blood vessels, which increases your blood flow. And as a result, it minimizes the risk of heart attack and stroke. It's great in fighting bacteria and boosting your immune system. It's, like you said, Levita, a natural antibiotic, which is great to help good bacteria grow faster. It promotes detox. It cleans up your toxins, parasites, leftover medication, all that bad stuff that's not good for your body. And it just helps the liver function optimally. And it's also good for your coughs and colds. So anytime that you may be under the weather, especially as you enter that cold season, garlic is a great food item to have. And it's also good and a good source of vitamin A, B, C, and a good source of phosphorus and zinc. So please make sure you add garlic to your meal.
Yes. I never run out of garlic or onions. I feel like, okay, that's when I know I need to get to the grocery store, when those things are running low.
Right.
I want you to, as you listen to benefits, I want you to also be tuned into how I'm chopping things if you're not accustomed to this part. And notice what I'm doing. I'm just, I'm relaxed about it. I'm feeling good. I'm thinking about deliciousness. And I'm just going back and forth, getting this finely chopped. Okay.
Okay.
So there we have it. And I don't even really measure, but it's like for this class, I'll go ahead and measure a little bit. There's my fourth a cup. I'm putting it in my small bowl. And I'm just gonna call this a fourth a cup and 2 more tablespoons, okay? But notice it does take about 10 cloves to get that amount. And of course that garlic cloves, they come in different sizes, right? So that could vary. But thank you, Maya. That was some great benefits. Great benefits.
Sure, no problem. I'm learning myself here too. All right, we're going to move right along to the onion now. So we're going to finely chop the onion, and then we'll add it to the bowl with the garlic.
Yes. And
we have, go ahead, Levita.
No, I was just saying, notice what I'm doing. I don't want to insult anyone, but I know I got my daughters are supposed to be on this call, and they got their friends. And so I'm going to, just notice what I did. I cut it in half, then I cut it in half again. I cut the halves in half, and I'm cutting these ends off. Yeah, we want to finely chop this as well. Okay. All righty.
Okay.
So
we have a question here too. One of our viewers asks, what can we use as a replacement if we don't have liquid aminos?
Well, liquid aminos is functioning as the salt in this. It's doing more than what just normal salt does, but just know that it's mainly the salt. So you can use salt. Yeah.
Okay.
You can use salt. It also though adds some smokiness to this recipe. And what I want to highlight is that I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, where you season the garlic and the collard greens with a piece of fat back or some what else do turkey necks, smoked turkey necks or something.
Yes. The neck of the turkey.
And so Yeah, and when I make greens, people ain't asking no questions like, girl, are these vegan? These probably gonna be nasty. They just be like, okay, it's probably gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But the smokiness of the liquid aminos helps simulate like what would come, the flavoring that would come from meat. Okay.
Okay.
So get some liquid aminos in your life. They have them at the regular grocery stores oftentimes. A lot of times regular grocery stores have like a Whole Foods aisle, and that might be where you find them, or you find them on the aisle with other condiments like vinegar and what else? Soy. Well, no, not necessarily what a soy sauce is, but it's like where other condiments are. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And while we're
or you have to go to a special store.
Yeah.
Like a Yes Organic Market or Mom's.
Or Mom's, okay.
Or Whole Foods or something like that. Okay. And so onions are in the same family as garlic, the allium family, and they have a lot of wonderful benefits.
Yes,
Go
definitely.
ahead, Maya, you got it.
They're good for headaches. They're preventive against heart disease, and part because of its antioxidants that fight cholesterol and inflammation. Again, with like garlic, it reduces your blood pressure and it can control your blood sugar levels. It improves bone density, improves digestive health, and it's high in vitamin C and vitamins B and potassium. So again, food.
Yes, and I think we're gonna do like a cup and a half.
Okay.
I think you guys, some folks are out there like me. I'm in the house, but not with lots of folks here. This is gonna be a big pot of greens for me. And but some of y'all got other greedy folks in the house, or you might be greedy. So, and you might, you're gonna use some in the wontons. I think you'll get really excited about having this pot of greens that you could over the next few days, you can make more batches of the wontons once I show you how to do it. And it'll be nice just to pull out the leftover greens and make some more of the wontons. Okay?
Definitely.
Yeah. So again, don't chop your fingers off, but do a little. My other hand is out of the way and I'm going back and forth. And Destiny, how's your chopping going?
I am actually still mincing my garlic.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right.
But I'm with you though. I promise I am.
Yes. I'm sorry if we're going fast. Just kind of look at what I'm doing, and then when you come to that, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna be good. So I'm going back and
while you're chopping it up, there's a cool tip here from Kisana. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. For the garlic tip, it says for the DMV area, you can put garlic in the ground before the end of October, and you will have fresh garlic at the beginning of June. If you cannot get the garlic from growing, you can get some organic head of garlic to plant. Pretty cool.
I love it.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that tip.
Yeah, garlic is basically a bulb, like when you plant bulbs, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just have never planted it myself, but that's great. That's great information.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Okay. Looks like we got our onion chop and our garlic chop. All right.
Yes. I'm gonna add a little bit more onion. Sorry, just a little bit more.
That's fine. That's fine.
And there are all different types of onions out there. You got your red and your yellow and your Vidalia, your sweet onion. And I think I like yellow sweet onions the best in my greens. But just there are lots of varieties, and you really can use the one that you want to use. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So there we have it.
I always like that because I'm a huge fan of Mexican food so that red onion just always does it for me.
Yes.
Okay,
love
good.
red onion. 2. Yes. Okay, we got our garlic and onions. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So if you're just now joining us, we've chopped our garlic and we've chopped our onion. And now we're moving on to where we're going to put this into a pan. So we're going to gently heat the olive oil, and we're going to add the onion and garlic. And we're going to soften over low heat while we chop up the greens.
Yes. And put it on very low heat. I'll tell you when to turn it. I'll tell you when to turn it up, because we got a lot of greens and folks might be chopping these greens at very different paces.
Right.
So we don't want this to burn. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna do 2 tablespoons of the olive oil.
Yes. And if you have a chance, Lavita, you can
And
turn your screen to the pan.
yes.
Follow along with you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
There we are.
Can you see my pan? All right.
Yes. Thank you.
So I put my 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and dump this. And I'm gonna put my stove on low for now, because I want to get to a certain point in the chopping of the greens before I turn it up higher. But I'm spreading them out, okay? Spreading out that chopped stuff. It's gonna be so amazing. The smell of your kitchen in the moment. Okay.
Love that smell.
Okay.
All right. Okay, yes, we're going to swing back over to our cutting board, because now it is time to cut our collard greens. So in the ingredient recipe list, it says to stack several collard green leaves on a cutting board and finely chop the greens, including much of the stem. So you say you usually discard the thickest part of the stem beyond the leaf, but add a finely chopped greens to a large bowl. And so let's get those chopped up nice and fine. I want to pay attention to how you cut these up, Lavita.
Yeah, yesterday I was like, oh, I should show them how to rip the leaves off and all this stuff. I was like, I don't feel like doing all that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try, I'm kind of stacking them. I'm calling this stacking.
Okay.
And it's like I just need to show you. Okay, you could do it this way, or okay, you can even fold this down some if you want. Can you see my whole situation? All right, this is like half of a bunch. I'm doing like half of a bunch at a time. Okay. Now we're trying to chop these up finely, because we're kind of I like to chop them up finely so I can not have to cook them as long. All right, because I feel like when your grandmama was cooking the greens and she heated up the fat back in the pot for half a day, and then she put the greens in there for the other half of the day, and then it was just like,
listen, that was the story on Thanksgiving Day. Okay, I'm like, the collard greens are cooking as long as the turkey. Now what's going on now?
Right. So we want some life in these. But notice how small my increments were coming across, if you notice. And I'm just gonna go down kind of until the leaf part is kind of, we reach like the end, okay? And then for these, see how, and then I'm gonna discard that part, and I'm gonna rake off, this is how I'm doing it, okay?
Got it.
And so, because like I said, you could go, okay, I'm gonna take these off of the stem, and then I'm gonna chop. Some people like even more of the stem, but then you go the other way, okay, in small increments as well. Okay, and that's how I go about chopping my greens. Okay, and that wasn't too bad or too long. This is not my favorite part. Chopping greens is not my favorite part, and the going across in little increments is nice for the stems. I don't like big chunks of stem in mine. So yeah, and just relieve some stress. Go back and forth, And
Love
a
it.
sharp knife is nice for this part too. All right.
All right.
So,
and we have a couple of questions rolling in here too, Lavita, if you don't mind. Cinta says, can you use an Instapot? I guess she wanted to know if we can use an Instapot to cook these in.
I've never used an Instapot. I've heard great things. So if you are experienced at it, I would love to hear how that works, how that goes. I personally, I just don't own one.
Right.
I have nothing against them. I just have not gotten into Instapots just yet. But notice, my knife, I think I need to switch knives. I have another knife tucked away.
Okay.
But you kind of notice, how fine, what I mean by finely. Okay.
Okay.
So yes. So Cinta.
Alex, hey Alex. She asked, should your greens be dry? I guess once you take them out the water.
They can be dry.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing, like I think I know what you're saying. Like, you don't have to dry them off. It's okay for a little water to be on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I'm answering her question.
That's about right. Because I know sometimes
I soak mine in water and then I kind of squeeze the water. Not really squeeze, but I just let I kind of squeeze them and then I just put the greens in a big pot that I'm reaching over towards.
Okay.
Without water. Okay.
All right. And then also Claire asks, can you parboil the grains?
Yes, you can. Okay. I know some people that they like to blanch their greens and so on. But because we're cutting them the way we are, these are not going to take too long to cook. Some people blanch them to have the bright green, have the color be bright green. But again, because of the finely chopping, this is going to be kind of fast once we get it all in the pot.
Okay,
I think I'm answering her question.
I definitely want to make sure I read off these wonderful tips of collard greens because there's just so many. I want to try to get to them all. Hopefully I can, but let me just get right into it. So it is in the cruciferous family, and it is Brussels sprouts, the kale, the cabbage, that greenery family. That's where it's coming from. And 1 cup of boiled collard greens can provide 770 micrograms of vitamin K. Okay, and then in the 2015 to 2020 United States Dietary Guidelines, it recommends that a woman aged 19 to 30 years of age should consume 90 micrograms a day of vitamin K. So, and a man should consume about 120 of those micrograms. So, if you just do the math right there, 1 cup can just cover you, almost for the whole week. So that is just amazing to hear. Also, collard greens are great for bone health because of their vitamin K content. One of the main things that vitamin K does is it improves your calcium absorption. So things like collards can be preventative against things like bone fractures and development of something like osteoporosis. I think that pronounced that word right. Osteoporosis. I don't know. Forgive me.
Osteoporosis.
Osteoporosis. Yeah. Thank you, Lavita. So yes, keep going on. 1 cup of boiled collard greens provides nearly 8 grams of fiber. So fiber helps to reduce inflammation and protect against blood sugar spikes. And the good news is that's good for diabetics. So please keep in mind that inflammation is a key factor in alignments from acne to asthma, high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart disease, cancers. The list goes on. So we want to make sure that we eat these whole fruits and vegetables to keep away and sustain inflammation. Also, let's talk about how good they are in vitamin A. So collards are high vitamin A content, and that helps with sebum production, and sebum keeps hair moisturized. Vitamin A is also crucial for the growth of bodily tissues, including skin and hair. So it also supports the immune system and the eyes. It helps keeps the body organs healthy. And vitamin C, it helps the colors help enable the body to build and maintain levels of collagen. And that again is help for the structure of skin and hair. And an adult woman, okay, so adult woman, an adult woman, I mean, because when you get older, you kind of get to lose those collagens and people start getting the Botox and hey, it's free, do what you want. But collagen is the natural source. It's the natural Botox, okay? So an adult woman needs 75 milligrams of vitamin C a day, and a man needs 90 milligrams. A cup of boiled collard greens provides nearly 35 milligrams of vitamin C. So when you think of vitamin C, just don't think about the oranges. Also think about your collards. And let's continue on. It also has iron. Iron prevents anemia, a common cause of hair loss. I did not even know that. Wow. So a lack of iron in the diet can affect how efficiently the body uses energy. So collard greens, spinach, lentils are good vegan sources of iron. And collard greens contain choline, an important neurotransmitter. And choline helps with mood, your sleep, your muscle movement, your learning, and your memory functions. So please this is just amazing, Lavita. I'm reading all this and just taking mental notes here because collard greens were a part of the diet, but I mainly probably only ate them maybe during Thanksgiving or, when a family function. But usually when I think of greenery, collard greens is usually not even on my mind. So this is just amazing to read these ingredient lists, this benefits.
Yes.
Go ahead, Olivia.
Yeah, and I just want to say that every cooking lesson that I do I try to do a little research about the benefits of the food, the purported benefits of the food. And because I know for me, knowing what my food is supposed to do for me, it makes me want to incorporate and keep that, that food as part of my diet. And so hopefully it will, just motivate you to figure out, how can I have more collard greens, in the mix? And that's what the point of this this lesson is. We're doing a pot of greens, but we're also doing something that's like an appetizer, or perhaps folks would find it more fun. I know my daughters especially love the wontons, and I when I make the wontons and I have them at functions at my house, the young people are some of the first ones to gobble those up. So just think about how you can make these different foods, whole foods, part of your just kind of everyday, take it for granted, diet. All right.
Yes.
I'm almost done with all this going shopping.
Cutting those greens look like a workout. Hey, Shakita, she said cutting those greens look like a workout. And I'm not doing it.
It is.
Arms are just like working.
I'm sweating. I'm like, is it hot? Is it my age? Why am I sweating? It is a workout.
Good though.
And by the way, these greens are gonna cook down a lot. I know it's like, why is she cooking like it's Thanksgiving? I am cooking like it's Thanksgiving, but they will cook down significantly. Awesome. We still are cooking a lot of them, but it's not as much as it looks at this point. Okay. Good. I don't know if you saw me discarding some of my greens because some of them had yellowed just since I forget, when did I buy these? Saturday from Harris Teeter. And so I'm not, I don't want to put yellowed ones in here. And you see me what I'm doing. Like I said, I cut down to
Yes.
Can you see my?
So I want
What
you to say a
happened?
reminder for those to remember to check on their garlic and onions as they're chopping up their collards.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? I'm gonna turn mine up some. I'm
Okay.
gonna turn mine up to between 3 and 4 because I'm down to like my last little. It's not little, but I'm down to my last patch of greens. Okay.
Yeah.
So I turn my garlic and onions up. Okay.
I like that idea, Dee.
Again, it's about the.
She said, I'm cooking enough to not have to make more in a couple of days. So that works. That's the idea there.
Yes.
So go ahead, Lavita.
That's my cousin Dee. She's here. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Sorry.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. That's my cousin Dee. Thank you, Dee. She's here for like the 3rd week in a row, and she probably brought some friends. And I think my friend Claire from my old school is here. Thank you, Claire, for being here. And and hopefully my daughters are out there. Hello, Yetunde, Niara. They told me they were coming.
My mom is on too, since we're doing shout outs. Hey, Mom.
Yes, and I'm cooking with destiny, which means great things are in store for me.
Yes, yes. And we also have another question from Shakita, which is actually a pretty good question. She said, Lavita, may you please let us know how much this meal will cost us?
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see, Harris Teeter, I bought organic greens. I don't always buy organic, that is about budget, right? But they had run out of the conventional ones, and these bunches, I bought 3 bunches and they were $2.50. So what is that? That's almost $10 just for the greens. Right. And garlic, you might pay, sometimes you get 2 heads of garlic for $1, right? The onion
for almost like $3, and you get about 6 onions.
Right.
So that's like 10.
Yeah.
I bought all of my stuff today, and my total was, I bought some personal stuff too, but my total came out to about $25. So yeah, all of these, from the whole series, I bought everything that day just to see how pricey it was. Everything was either, besides today, was under $20. So super,
yeah. And let me say, some things are like, what do you call them? I forget what you call those things, a staple. So like the liquid aminos, for example, I have this big bottle, right? And liquid aminos, this big bottle, I don't know, it might be $6 or something, but this lasts me a long time. And I use it in my greens. I use it in my greens and my beans and my marinades and so on. It goes a long way. It will be, I don't know, I might buy that every 3 or 4 weeks, actually. Okay. The Chipotle peppers, I have this whole bag of them, and I have them like forever because I'm not using them. I don't use them all the time. So, and the apple cider vinegar is like a staple as well, right? And the olive oil. So it's not like you're going to have to buy all of these ingredients every time you make this. Oh God, I feel like I had a workout.
Your arms okay? Listen,
I got my
a benefit to collard greens is you'll have toned arms, okay? Because
I wish that was the case. I'll show you that's not necessarily so. All right. Okay, I'm loving my garlic and onion mixture. It looks good. It's smelling good over here. Okay. And so I think we put in the other stuff.
Yes. So once the garlic and onions have softened, we want to add the rest of the ingredients to the pot. And so That's calling for the Bragg liquid aminos, the apple cider vinegar. And I can go ahead and so for the Bragg liquid aminos, it says anywhere from 6 to 8 tablespoons.
And that seems like a lot, but this is a lot of greens. And let me emphasize, put less and use your taste buds. You know,
Okay.
I ran through this recipe on Sunday, and I really was being very cognizant of what it took to make this dish tasty for me, right? But the liquid aminos is adding salt, and so if there's never an issue with you going less than what the recipe says, and then work your way up until, you might even wait until the whole dish is assembled before you add. You might say, okay, I'm gonna do 6 tablespoons, and then I'll wait until I get it all together and see if I want more, right?
Right.
So, and that goes for the vinegar too.
Yes.
I like, a hint of vinegar in in it. I like I want to notice my vinegar.
The camera up a little bit so you get a better view of the pot.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. Much better.
Okay.
I have a question.
All right. I'm losing count.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Our greens supposed to be in there with the our greens are not supposed to be in there with the garlic and stuff yet, right?
No.
Not yet.
I do this thing where I assemble all my spices together. In Louisiana, they might call it like a roux or something. I get my seasoning together, get that going, get that simmering, and then I put the greens in.
Right. So far, we've added the liquid aminos. We've added the 5 to 7 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And now we're on to the sweeteners. So it can be anywhere from 1 to 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of agave nectar or any other sweetener.
Okay.
Good. And then
I like to balance the salt with with some sweet. Okay, it's not, your greens are not going to be sweet. It's just gonna balance out that salt. Okay.
Right.
And yeah,
we need a whole chipotle, a whole chipotle pepper. So a 1/2 to 1 whole chipotle pepper, or a 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon of ground pepper.
Yes. So I have the whole one. Look at that. And I have the pepper, the ground one. The ground one, it can be quite expensive. If you go to a store that specializes in like Caribbean and Latino food, they'll have these whole bags of chipotle pepper. Okay. And this is like the most inexpensive way to go about getting them. All right. So let me tell you, if you put a whole one in, it's gonna have a really nice kick. And I'm not a fan of food that's so hot I can't enjoy it, but it has a nice kick that I enjoyed. All right. But if you're shy about pepper, again, you might start with 1/2. And I'm actually cutting my pepper up. Like you can tear it with your hands, or like, look, I cut it into several pieces. All right. A lot of the hotness, of course, is in the seeds. So some of my greens got in here because they were on the cutting board. But this pepper was actually big, so I didn't put all of it in there just yet. And even though it's dried, it's gonna get reconstituted by the hot liquid up in here. So, all right. And then it says sea salt, which is optional. Yeah. But notice it's boiling, it's simmering here. And and we're gonna put these greens in here. And I don't know about you, but mine is smelling like heavenly. I'm loving I can smell the liquid aminos. I can smell the vinegar, the onions, and so on. So I'm just gonna put it in here.
Yes.
Now you might have noticed I didn't put water. The only water that's in here is the water that's gonna come from the greens. Like a steaming effect is gonna happen as a result of me putting the top on here. And look, that looks like a lot of greens, right? It is a lot. It is to the top. I got my lid, and I'm gonna turn it up high actually, and just let it rip. And we're gonna keep checking on it.
Yes.
You're gonna notice how fast they cook down. All right.
Okay.
Now I know I went real fast, but I gotta demonstrate something else before 7. So that's our collard greens. Now I gotta just show you what's up with these wontons, okay? And you gotta look, and you gotta do it on your own. You might have to do it on your own. We'll see how we're doing on time. But
we're doing okay. Let's just move right into it.
Yeah. So I got my Nasoya. They are vegan wonton wraps. Okay.
Okay.
And since I cook the greens,
frying too.
Yes, I need to put my oil on.
Yes.
And I said enough oil so that you have, what does it say?
It says it says that you should have about 14.5 ounce of canned low sodium all canola oil. It says that you have about a half an inch. So a half an inch of oil for your iron pan. Now you're using a iron skillet, so you want to add enough oil to feel that depth of it.
What? You want to add enough oil?
A large cast iron skillet. If you have that at home, a large iron cast skillet says add enough oil to feel a depth of about a half an inch. And keep on medium high. Yes.
A half an inch, yeah. You don't have to. You might not need as much as that, but
okay.
Yeah, can you see my? Yeah. I don't think you. Yeah. I said to my daughters. I'm sorry.
If you have a deep fryer, are you able to use that? Would that work as well?
Yeah, these cook so fast. Again, I don't use a deep fryer. I don't have anything against the deep fryer. Mm-hmm. But I want you to keep in mind that they cook in minutes.
Okay.
They cook in minutes, okay? And so I'm turning my skillet on. I got it turned up kind of high. And these are my greens. I went through the recipe like 2 days ago.
Okay.
And what I was saying to you is I think there are about, what is this? There might be like 48 of these in here, okay? So you can have some wontons for several days. I'm going to actually put some water in this measuring cup. And the reason this water is acting like my glue, okay, for the wonton wrapper. Like I would put it around the edge, okay? If you had green juice, you could use your green juice for the glue. The point is you need to make sure you want to, as much as possible, make sure this wrapper stays closed while it's frying, right? Because otherwise you end up with fried greens. and basically I'm just folding it into a triangle, and the water is sealing the edges, and voila, that's it.
And that's it.
You guys can do. That's it. That's an assembled wonton. Okay. I could also do something like this. You know what? I'm gonna get a bigger bowl because I'm gonna show you how when I'm being Speedy Gonzalez, and my kids and their friends are looking at me like, "What a wontons." This is. You could also do this. you can do this. Look how I'm dipping the edges.
Great.
All right. And I got the oil turned up kind of high, kind of,
Okay.
it's like medium high. And again, the liquid is the glue that is holding the wonton closed.
Right.
And you don't want your plate and surface to be too wet, because like my plate is dry. All right. It's okay if a little green juice gets on there, but you don't want to be in a dilemma where you're trying to peel your wontons off the surface when it's time to put them in the skillet. And what I like to do is make several of them before I start frying. I'm going to put probably like 5 or 6 in at a time.
Okay.
You don't want them to overlap and kind of get stuck together. But it's like if I have 10 cooked and I put 5 in, that gives me a little room to work on assembling some more. Right? It's like 5 are waiting to go in while I'm assembling more. Okay. Also, let's check on our greens. Let's check on our greens. So
yeah.
I don't know about you, but mine are starting to cook. They're starting to cook down. And notice the liquid, right? So you don't have to like drown your food. Like I said, I remember my grandmother boiling a big old pot of water with the fat back. It was so much water, and really look at that. Look how much it's cooked down.
Wow.
Remember my greens were to the top of the pot.
Right.
And now they have cooked down considerably.
Right.
And they're not even done, right?
Looks good.
And a lot of our food has lots of water content, just like we do as human bodies. And I think we drown our nutrients, we overcook the food and cook away a lot of nutrients. And you really just need to test, how little water can you add? We didn't add any water. There was liquid from the liquid aminos, and there was liquid from the vinegar, right? It's not that we didn't have any liquid, but again, the greens themselves are also, the water content is coming out as we cook them. Okay.
Amazing. Well, while we're prepping our wontons, I know I said in the beginning, we're going to have some fun with the word collard greens. And we wanted to see if we can make a collard green playlist. Okay. So all our viewers, I want you all to put your on to, your soul food area. I want us to see if there's any songs that we can come up with that has the word collard greens in it. So Destiny, Lavita, start it off for us. Any songs? A playlist here.
Yes.
Go ahead, Lavita.
No, you go ahead. Don't put me on the spot. I cook. I don't sing. What is that Jill Scott song you guys were singing earlier?
So I can't remember the name of the song. Y'all can help me out, but it goes, do you want it on your collard greens?
Yes.
Do you want it on your pickled beets? Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Yes. Kashana said soul food, goody mob.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think
come and get your soul food.
Okay, Lavita, we got you singing.
You can sing. Come on now.
But I don't know the line about the collard greens though.
Oh, okay.
But it is in there. Okay. What else? What else our audience got?
I think, is it Yatunde? I hope I'm saying that right.
That's my child.
Oh, okay. Hi. Thank you for being with us. This is exciting. She said corn bread and collard greens. I think that was the song that was Destiny singing. Okay.
No. That's not what Destiny was singing. She's talking about Anthony Hamilton.
Yes, she did there too. Anthony Hamilton. All right, Libby, you had to sing it for us a little bit. Can you kind of, because I don't know that song.
I forget how it goes. Now it's blending with the Jill Scott.
Okay.
Oh, cornbread, fish, and collard greens. I got what you need if you want it. if Oh, look at my plate of wontons. I'm gonna add some.
Looks good.
Well, yeah, since we at the 5-minute mark, let me come over here. Can you see my skillet way over there?
We kind of can. I was thinking to switch the pot. I don't know if that's possible, but
yeah, I can switch the pot. But look at that. Look at the green. Look at the green.
Looks good. I can't believe you didn't add water to it. That's amazing.
No, I did not. If you have the right pots, that's the other thing. You got to have pots with tight lids, so your food can steam itself. But look at all that liquid, okay?
Okay.
Without adding any water. And you you want to save that water, because you see how I'm using the water for my glue on my wontons. You want to use your pot liquor. That's what the Black folks would say in Tennessee. Use your pot liquor as your glue for your wontons. So I'm shifting my greens over, and I'm gonna use this skillet, okay? And I can tell by the heat of the handle that this is really ready to receive these wontons. So look at that. Look how fast this is happening.
Perfect. Wow.
And you want to leave space. Now, I always say, get some certain utensils in your life. You want to get a slotted metal spoon in your life for some frying. Look at that. Look how fast they cook.
Wow.
They're almost, I prefer them a little.
That was, I think, less than a minute. This is perfect for those kids. Like, Mom, I'm hungry. Put this in real quick.
Yes. And you might have been mad while we were chopping them greens, but you about to get glad when you make some of these wontons. And you want to have your
Vita. Ebony asks, how do you know when your greens are done? Are they supposed to be a dark colored or light?
You want to taste them and see if they're tender to you. You know, and that's about a taste bud thing. Do you want them crunchy or do you want them more tender? The longer you cook them, they are going to be darker. But I'm a fan of tender collard greens. So you notice the ones I was putting in. Look at these beautiful wontons.
Yes, everyone, if you're looking at wontons, take a picture, tag at Vita the Vegan Chef. This is a beautiful picture moment. Awesome.
Yes, I'm gonna make my hot sauce. Well, I'm not really making the hot sauce, but
showing off now, Miss Vita. You showing off now,
right?
So, no, this is my store-bought. This is just regular. What is this? Crystal hot sauce.
Okay.
And a lot of times, hot sauce is very vinegary, right? So what I do is I taste it. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of vinegary to me. So what I like to do is put a little agave in it. And I like to put some dried herbs in it. So I'm getting my oregano. Okay. And this is my sauce. This is my dipping sauce for my wontons.
Beautiful.
And when you make these, your family is gonna love you even more.
Listen, we have one of our viewers, Greta. She says, "May I please come across the street for a batch after this broadcast?" So,
yes, you can. That's my good neighbor. Please come help me eat this food. So you see that? And look, don't scald yourself trying to eat these wontons too soon.
Yes, please be careful.
Oh my God.
We gotta zoom in on his face.
Look at that. Yes. That is it. I wish I
That's
could
it.
just
That's
grab
it right there.
That's it right there. Mm,
Oh,
that's
and
wonderful.
my greens are so nice, and just they cook just enough.
And another question, Vita, hate to interrupt you, and you're, as you're enjoying that dish. Alex asks, does it have to be cast iron for frying?
No. Mm.
I love it. I love it.
If you don't have a cast iron, skillet, just pick something that fries well. The trick to these is let me move my camera back. Uh-oh. Is it?
Yes, we see you.
Yeah. You need that oil nice and hot. You don't want these to soak in the oil. They'll be greasier. Okay.
Okay.
Like mine are not greasy. They because of my slotted spoon, and my oil is the perfect hotness. All right. And they cook really fast. So be ready to flip them over, or take your skillet by the handle and make sure that oil covers and gets to cook both sides. So I just love these, and I should not be. I don't know who I'm cooking all this for. I'm gonna have to send out a message to my neighbors to come over. I think some of my neighbors are here. So Greta's here. Thank you so much, Greta. And I think my neighbor Jade is on here. And I just love my neighbors. We're great support for each other.
And how's it coming for you, Destiny?
I just took my first bite, and I'm blown
goodness.
away. I am blown away. I am blown away.
At your green?
Yes. Can y'all see?
Look at that smoke.
Wonderful. Yes.
That's good.
Destiny, I see that steam coming out of that pot, like something delicious is happening over there.
Oh, it's real good.
All right, here's my second batch.
Okay.
Why isn't my screen moving?
No, it moved.
Okay. I turned my heat down, but notice how nice. It's still cooked quick. I turned the skillet down, but notice that this is more the coloring I like for my wontons.
Okay.
And you want to make sure the wrapper is crisp, because sometimes you might flip them too soon. Like you wouldn't want this kind of clear spot here. That means it's not really crisp. Okay.
Okay.
Woo!
And
Miss
Renee,
Maya.
I know. Y'all are making me really jealous out here. Okay. Listen, all these past 4 weeks, okay, I had to just sit here and just take it. But this one right here, because I love wontons. Okay? It's all right. I'll make a trip to the store. Make sure I make this trip tomorrow morning. You can have this for breakfast. Someone asked, yes, we use canola oil, Renee. Renee, we use canola oil to fry the wontons.
Yeah, but if you want to use safflower, or if you don't have allergies in your house and you want to use peanut, just
olive oil work. Will olive oil work?
No, you should not do deep frying in olive oil.
Okay.
Olive oil is more for like sauteing, or your salad dressings or something like that. Do you have maybe even coconut oil? I don't think the there's the flavor they won't taste like coconut. Okay, so if that's what you have, you could also Google baking them. I told my kids, I was like, maybe I'll show the people how to bake them. And my daughter was like, girl, no, fry them wontons. This is a beautiful plate of wontons. Okay. I'm so excited. And also the other thing that excites me about the wontons is that with collard greens, it's like this fusion of 2 cultures, right? We have the wontons. Perhaps you think of Chinese food, and we have the soul food in terms of the greens, but we have I think I've come up with a more life affirming version of the collard greens, but you were marrying those two things together. And
Right.
and also, by the way, I've also made a sweet dessert with these wontons. I've taken seasoned apples, like Destiny, when you season the apples for your crumble, you could season the apples that way and heat those apples in a pot for maybe 5 minutes so they can get a little tender, and then you can put seasoned apples in the middle of the wonton and fry them. And you could have another sauce. You could take agave and put like cinnamon in it and dip the wontons in that. You can make a vegan caramel and dip them in that. It's so many possibilities for what you could put in these wontons. All right. Let me say this. Do not put bland greens in these wontons. even if you buy a can of greens. And I say in the recipe document, Margaret's greens, they are my favorite because you can get the collard greens with just water. It'd be just cooked greens and water. But put something on them greens, like you could do garlic powder, onion powder, dash of cayenne. And if you're in a hurry, don't be so in a hurry you don't put no seasoning on it, okay? You can even get away with powders. But I would heat my greens and put those seasonings on it. The liquid aminos would really come in handy when you're using something like Margaret's greens, which are just the greens and water, because you get this instant salt, all right? And it's got a smokiness in it, right? So you can get away with doing it with canned greens. But since we were making the collard greens, I was like, let's take some of them and put some of our freshly made collard greens in here.
Yes.
So I know this was like a whirlwind and we went fast, and maybe you were a few steps behind, but I hope you saw enough to make you feel confident about trying the wontons on your own if you didn't get to that part. And I'm so grateful for Destiny for inviting me to do this series, and for Maya for joining me, and for all of everyone who found time in their week, their weekly schedule to join me. There are several people who came multiple times. So just thank you, everyone. I'm so blessed for this.
Yes.
Thank you, Vita the Vegan Chef. Everybody put thank you to Miss Vita the Vegan Chef in the comments, because she has done an amazing job. And Maya as well. We can't forget about you over this past month.
I'm just her hype man, okay? I'm just the hype.
Thank you, Maya.
No problem.
I'm trying not to eat some more, but it's okay. I'm going to eat while y'all talk. Go ahead, whatever.
I'm gonna switch back to myself as Miss Vita the Vegan Chef devours the wontons because they are so good. Again, I just want to extend a lot of thanks to Vita the Vegan Chef. Maya, this has been an amazing series over this course of September. We want to really highlight a local chef who's been doing her thing in the vegan realm for so long, really spreading her love and, inviting us into her kitchen, inviting us into her world and her mind, as we've been cooking these amazing dishes. You don't have to be vegan to have vegan style food. So we want to thank Vita the Vegan Chef for bringing us into her world. Now, before we leave today, we said we had a special announcement, and I wanted to tell you all that we have our Taste of the Harvest home style coming up starting next week, October 8th. So you wonder what that is? Taste of the Harvest is a celebration of the harvest of all of our farms. You can get fresh fruits and vegetables from all of our farms. And every October, we celebrate the harvest, celebrate fall with a special event. So I wanted you all to save the date. Every Thursday, here, let me share my screen. Every single Thursday at 6:30, you can join us. Every single Thursday at 6:30, you all can join us for a whole bunch of events. next week we're going to have Vita the Vegan Chef actually be on a panel with us to talk about healthy eating and healthy lifestyles, and how it doesn't have to be very hard to be, eat healthy foods. How it doesn't have to be very hard to, transition into a healthy lifestyle, because, if you take care of your body, you're taking care of your mind as well. So we have that going on. We have another panel that'll feature some food entrepreneurs in the area. We have some pumpkin carving, storytelling. We're super excited to share everything with you all. If you want to sign up for this, go to bridgepark.org/harvest, and you all can follow the link to sign up with us. So we hope that you join us.
Yes. That is amazing.
Yeah, I want to put the link in the chats. Let me stop sharing my screen. Hope you all got the date. Starts next week, October 8th.
One of my neighbors is already at the door.
Oh, man.
She was serious.
Like, can y'all let me get done? They smelling food out there. And
well, it's been fun as she takes her last wonton off the grease.
Yes. Thank you. This is amazing.
We appreciate
you so much. So much fun. This is awesome, Destiny. Awesome.
I must have cooked up. I must have did something very delicious, because I'm straight up like dripping sweat.
That's how you know it's good.
Look, the green, chopping it, all of it. This is the work, I'm telling you. But this is well paid off. This is one you will enjoy.
Yes.
Any more song titles come through?
Oh yeah! Before we come off, let us know what you all are thinking about with the collard greens. What songs are you thinking about?
A few more. I'm trying to scroll back up because I saw someone say Outcast. Here it is.
Yes, I did see that.
Thank you all for that. Yeah. Cadillac by Outcast. Dirty South from CeeLo's verse. Jilly from Philly, YUP. So a lot.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you all. I got to go on Spotify and put all that in a playlist.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We're signing off.
Bye.
Until next time. Next week.
Thank you.
So make sure you tune in. Vita will be there.
All right.
Bye, everybody.